Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 15th, 2025, and I haven't shot a video in a while, so I needed to do a little catch-up. Some of the reasons for this is holidays. We had our kids staying with us for a couple weeks over the Christmas holidays, and we've been also busy on a tiling project, so I did write a blog in the meantime, which I've been wanting to shoot a video on. Well, it's a bit eclectic and not really vlog worthy, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. This is Aero Stealth here, by the way, John Gilkison. And the title of my blog was Death is Cheaper. I'm going to hold it up. Right there. And this came out of a hike I went on with my friend Joseph on Sundays. We were hiking along the river and got back to towards our vehicles, and a bunch of motorcycles came over the bridge, and I absolutely detest the things. I think they're death traps, and they're also just noisy. We live in a nice quiet hilltop way away from town, and on weekends motorcycles come through the valley down below us, roaring up and down for their weekend rides, and rolling thunder, I think they call it, disturbing our peace and serenity. One of the reasons we moved out here was peace and quiet. But they have the right to impose all their concept of joy on you. And so I was talking to Joseph about this, and I just asked straightforward questions. How in the hell do they insure them things? How does insurance companies afford to do it? Because chances of you, if you have any kind of accident at all, chances of you leaving the motorcycle and becoming a projectile and dying are pretty good. And basically, Joseph, who's a doctor, said, well, death is cheaper. And I'd never thought of it that way, because if you're in an automobile accident, there's all kinds of safety devices, and the likelihood of you surviving an accident below 60 miles an hour are fairly good. Usually people suffer broken feet and stuff from the wheel well area, but other than that, they can live, because of airbags, seat belts, and the whole crumple zones. And so consequently, you require hospitalization maybe. You will live, but it's kind of expensive to keep you in the hospital for a while treating you. And but if you're on a motorcycle, they can just send you to the morgue. And so for the insurance companies, death is cheaper. It has to do with actuarial tables, of course. And I'd never thought of this. But the whole concept got me thinking. And I have a sentence in here. Having never thought of the proposition this way set me to thinking about how the simple proposition of death is cheaper can explain a lot. The world currently faces an untold number of predicaments which just might be explicable in the light of this concept. So here we are, hell-bent for leather to commit ecocide. The oil companies are continuing to push their product, and politicians won't make any serious moves to curtail fossil fuel use. They're trying a little bit. but not very serious to counter the millions of dollars in propaganda, the millions of dollars spent on propaganda that the oil people push out, and surprising number of average people on the street really believe this propaganda. It just amazes me. And I think it ought to be illegal. I think just like cigarettes, it should be illegal to advertise any products that use oil, promote oil, or any fossil fuel product. And the ought to be warning labels that caution causes cancer and so forth on these products. When you go to a gas pump, big signs with skulls and crossbones and so forth. And anyway, it worked for cigarettes. Cigarettes are still used, but not by very many people. And the people who are still smoking, it's $7-8 a pack, are just hopeless addicts. So anyway, it got me to thinking, well, what if, the robots are coming, artificial intelligence, humanoid robots that pretty soon we're going to get to a point where possibly where we won't need human labor for much of anything. In that case, death is cheaper because why do we need to save several billion people from dying from starvation or anything else because of global climate catastrophe coming? And if you're rich, you got billions of dollars, you can get underground bunkers, you can grow your food underground, have these compounds, and you might survive the apocalypse, and you could have plenty of humanoid robotic labor for you. You just don't need 7-8 billion people on the planet to support your lifestyle anymore. So this is me being pessimistic and sarcastic. Anyway, the possibility that we'll experience force C of warming by the end of the century is great. That's 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Life will become untenable on the surface of the planet. And so, death is cheaper could become the new mantra. I'm sure no one will be saying it out loud. I'm not sure of that. I'm already saying it. The biggest problem we'll have to face, the massive die-off of human population of 7 billion people. Will it stop? In other words, if several billion people die off, no guarantee that it won't continue on to consume most of the remaining billion people. And then, will a population level off at some kind of acceptable level? And there's a line from the movie Alien, the original movie Alien, the 1979 version. Priority number 1 was, this is the robot, just his head, near the end of the movie, they're talking to him, priority number 1, bring home alien life form. All other priorities are rescinded. And what about our lives, you fucker? And so the robot says, I think the statement is clear, but you have my condolences. So I think this is where we are. I've remembered that line just for this reason. I think this is where we're headed. And just take out the word alien life form and insert the words profits. And you have it. I'm going to take you on a quick tour here, show you the tile job that we've been working on. You can see some of the clutter back here. You can also see I got this thing in my lap. We're dog sitting. It's not our dog, but these dogs are kind of clingy. We're working on this bathroom in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights. And I have a clawfoot tub, which we wanted to put in new plumbing. So we did. I had this plumbing in it that was just a faucet that was right over the overflow, and it didn't work very well. So this is where the tub goes. You can see stub outs coming out of the floor there. And then this is the tile we've chosen. It's a 6-inch by 24-inch, and it's I've got it to a point now. What we have to do is we have to take this toilet up and move it. I'm probably going to move it over here in front of this register right there. And then we have to take this vanity up, and we can move it over here. We've got enough room right beside that bread rack. And then at that point I'll be able to take the baseboard up over here and tile all the way to the wall. And then we need to continue tiling a couple more courses over, and then I can stair step it out over here to get it underneath those legs. And at that juncture we'll be able to put the baseboard back, put the vanity back, put the toilet back, and then the tub can get moved over here and put in place. And then we can finish the job. This is not a bookcase. This goes behind the tub, and we'll get all the books out of it. And once we reinstall the bookcase, we can put them back in the bookcase. And this is a cabinet here that goes beside the toilet. So that's our tile job. We've been working on this for a couple of weeks now just to get it to this point. It's a lot of work. And, you know, if you could just clean out the whole room, you could tile the whole thing in a couple of days, but doing it piecemeal like this really takes up a lot more time, because once you put the thin set down, put some tile down, then you got to wait another day and then grout it, and then wait a day after that to walk on it and so forth. It's just slow going, but we have time. So anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. That's my optimistic report from January 2025. And the title of my journal this year is The Post-Apocalyptic Journal. Last year it was the Apocalypse Journal, and the year before that was the Pre-Apocalypse Journal. So I don't know where I'm going to go from here, except discontinued journals. Just no longer able to keep one. So everybody take care. We'll see you on down the road, everybody. Bye-bye.